Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Aquarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free. It does not cost anything. If there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. This is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Aquarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. All right, 6 of Pentacles. This is success. This is a day of perfect harmony, of perfect cooperation, perfect alignment. This is the best day of our lives, right? Now, we had a card that sort of jumped out at us, and that was the High Priestess, okay? So I think there's an intuition here. I think that Spirit is trying to tell you something about this 6 of Pentacles, this cooperation, this perfect alignment, this best day ever. This is something that is in its prime, right? Let's put some more cards down. We have a Princess of Swords. We have the Art card. We have a Queen of Swords. And a 4 of Wands. Over here we've got 10 of Wands, a 2 of Swords, 3 of Wands, 9 of Wands. Okay. Interesting here. Interesting cards. We see that there's a conflict here between the fire and the air. Okay. And I think it really is, it has to do with this. It has to do with this success, this thing that you have that's working, right? It's kind of like Spirit is saying that something needs to change here. That this is something that's working perfectly as it is right now, but if we don't maintain this, if we just leave it as it is, eventually this is going to break down. Nothing can stay this kind of perfect forever, right? So it almost feels as if there's an effort in you to keep this as perfect as possible, but not realizing that things have to continue to evolve and continue to change if we're gonna create something lasting. It's not just it's not like we're just sort of freezing time, you know. And this is that perfect state. This is the absolute best moment ever, and we can just prolong this. No, we need to put in effort to sort of continue things. Things cannot stay the same, okay? Because eventually what will happen is this will begin to break down. The 6 will eventually become a 7 and an 8, and it will require some repair, right? So what we're trying to do is understand how we can create more days like this, more success like this, okay? So I think what's going on here is that this perfect moment that you're experiencing, it's going to conclude. We cannot be in this state forever. And your intuition is telling you, okay, we better get ready to make some changes here. Otherwise, we're going to be caught off guard when the wheel keeps turning. Right? When change keeps happening in life, this is that sweet spot. But this sweet spot, this feeling, the success here, comes with it this wonderful feeling of joy, right? But I think that maybe, there's no water cards here, maybe that joy, that sense of celebration has already ended. And now, Spirit, your intuition is telling you, we got to start doing something else, that we need to implement some changes before this really starts to break down and deteriorate. It's kind of like you won something. Well, that feels good for a few days, you know. But then it doesn't feel like anything anymore. And unless we go out and make some changes and start pursuing things again, and we get back to work and we start, we sort of keep the machine running, we're going to linger here in this winner's circle, and everyone's going to go home, the lights are going to get turned off, and we're just going to be here, and it's going to deteriorate, and our mood is going to deteriorate, and the whole experience is going to start falling apart. Okay, we linger here too long after that rush of joy and jubilation, right? Let's say you accomplished one of your goals. It feels great. What happens when that feeling then sort of subsides and things, we feel back to normal again, right? Then what do we do? Well, I'm not just going to sit here holding on to this big win. It's like Spirit's kind of saying, hey, it's time to keep things moving forward, to keep going, to keep doing something else. Something has to change. We cannot just sit here holding on to our trophy, because eventually it's going to continue to decline. You know what I mean? Let's select our mystery card, okay? Let's get that out of the way. We're going to get this over here with Tiny Bob Ross. This is the factor infinite and unknown, and it's going to tie everything together at the end of the reading, all right? If you have a prediction for that card, please put it in the comments down below. Yeah. Looking around the room here, this is all we see is Major Arcana, High Priestess. High Priestess is trying to show you the way forward here. And, we have the art card of the Temperance card. I feel like this is in the past, right? This is the hard work. This was the pressure cooker. This was that difficult situation. To get this win, you really had to work your butt off. And you accomplished it. You did it. Okay? There's no water energy here. You did this, it felt good for a minute, and then that feeling subsided, and now we're just back to what? Are we lingering here? Are we trying to hold on to this win and think, I want to just prolong this feeling as long as I can? The feeling's already gone. The water's already left. The satisfaction is not there anymore. Are we still clinging to just the symbol of it? Just like, it's like we're holding on to the trophy, thinking that we can somehow get that joy back, rather than setting it down, getting back to work, and figuring out what's coming next, right? And so the art card it's sort of a non-factor in the reading, because you worked very hard, you accomplished your goal. I think the water energy was here, and now it's subsided, and now Spirit's saying it's time to get a move on. It's time to move forward and change something. We can't linger here in this winner's circle because it doesn't feel like anything anymore. Okay. We've got fire, 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 no water. We've got air, air, and air. Okay, and we have just a little bit of earth. And the earth is really what we're talking about. This was a big win that you achieved. Okay, this was something that was working very, very well. This could be it could be a work situation. This could be even a relationship. Okay, it could be you could be part of a group here. Spirit saying that all the joy and all of the satisfaction of this has left the room. Okay. It's time for change, because this is now, we're sort of clinging to this because we remember how hard we worked to get this, and we remember how good it felt when it was really, when it first happened, and maybe this is a relationship, maybe it's a friendship, maybe this is your job, or your career, your vocation. Maybe this is whatever work you're doing. It doesn't have to be a particular accomplishment, but it may be that sort of that relationship that you're in, that state of relating to something else. So it could be you and your job. Feeling like there was joy here at one time. I don't feel it anymore, but I'm just going to cling to this and just hope it returns. I worked hard to get here. It felt good at one point, so it can feel good again, right? And so we're really putting in a lot of this effort to hold on to this. But what Spirit's telling you with this Four of Wands is that this is the past. This should be the past anyway. Okay, so we see sort of a weird time shift here. Spirit is saying that this is something that was working. Yes, it was very good. It felt very good. It doesn't feel that way anymore. Putting all of our effort into maintaining that or trying to hold on to this is not doing anything but exhausting you. So the Four of Wands is saying, let's keep our life moving forward. And if that were the case, if we do that, then what we're doing is we're scooching everything back and saying, yeah, this was the past. And now it's time to wrap that up. This was something that we worked hard for. It felt good for a while, and now it sort of doesn't anymore. So that's okay. Whether this was a particular accomplishment or this was the excitement of your the job that you were in, it felt very fulfilling. You felt good being there. Now there's no feeling at all. Spirit's saying it's time to do something about that. It's time for closure. It's time to say, this was good. What's coming next? Right? Now what? Now what? Okay. The Princess of Swords underneath everything is, I think really this is that part of you that's trying to figure it out. We're trying to look at that Six of Pentacles and think, okay, what did I do wrong? How can I do something else to bring back the joy? And I think that you've tried a lot of things. I think you've been open to other techniques, a little variety. You've been open to just finding out new ways to try to be happy at your job again, to try to be satisfied in this relationship, to try to bring more of this satisfaction and celebration into this accomplishment that you had. Whatever the Six of Pentacles is for you, you've tried. Okay? And, I think that this card is open to experiment, open to new things, to try to bring that water energy back in. But it didn't work. Okay? So it's not that we're just abandoning something as soon as we start to feel a little bit sort of, neutral about it. Oh, okay, I'm out of here. I'm going to go run off and do something else. No, I feel like you've stuck around. I feel like that you've given this thing everything that you've had, everything that you're capable of giving. And it just doesn't feel satisfying. It doesn't make you happy anymore. Okay? And the Queen of Swords at the top is trying to detach ourselves from it a little bit. Try to take a step back and look at it objectively. Look at the Six of Pentacles this way. Trying to see it for what it really is. And trying to be very honest with ourselves and say, okay, you know what? This was good, but I don't feel anything for it anymore. Okay? Your intuition is there telling you, hey, something's got to change. We've tried changing our relationship with this thing to see if we can get happy again. It doesn't seem to have worked. And I think the sooner that we're honest with ourselves to say, look, you know what? I loved that thing so much. I was very happy there. I'm not anymore. I've got to move on. The sooner we can say that, the sooner we're honest with ourselves about that, I think the sooner we can start pursuing things that are going to be more meaningful to us. We can pursue the next step in life, right? That is going to hopefully bring us closer to joy again and love and satisfaction. This is a relationship, this is a business, this is a creative project, this is a collaboration, this is a club that you're in, a hobby that you're doing, right? That you just don't enjoy anymore. And you've tried to sort of force yourself to do it, force yourself to enjoy it. Maybe you thought, well, if I just stick with it for a while longer, maybe I'll get happy again. Maybe the joy will come back. Maybe if I do things differently, maybe if I try to kind of spice things up, then I'll feel something again for it, but it doesn't seem like it's worked. So it feels like now we're clinging to it because I worked so hard to get it. I worked so hard to be there that now I don't want to leave it, right? But your high priestess, your intuition, spirit is sort of pointing you toward the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is a card of completion. It's saying that was a cycle for you. That was the completion of a particular phase of your life, and it's time to wrap things up. It's time to get the wheels moving forward again. It's time for closure, right? And I think we're looking at this, and there's part of us that's resisting this. We don't want to kind of say goodbye. You know, it's something that you enjoyed. You worked very hard at, and you enjoyed it very much for a time. And it's, even though we don't feel anything toward it now, it's difficult to let go of it. You know, closure is it's always a difficult thing. But the Queen of Swords is a very important card here because it's really us being honest with how we feel or how we don't feel about something. So we're able to look and see, yeah, okay, well, you know what? We're getting that bird's eye view, and we're thinking, okay, you know what? There's no love here anymore. There's no enjoyment. There's no satisfaction. There's no connection, right? We're just not feeling it. So the Four of Wands is saying, let's change what we're doing. Okay, let's pursue something that may or may not, but at least there's the option there, may or may not give us more satisfaction. Let's change something. Let's find out what it is that we want, and let's go after it. Let's put our effort into something else. Okay, change is needed, major change. And that's going to bring us to the path of the serpent. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It is free. All right. Your general energy is the Ten of Wands. You're capable of putting in maximum effort into something. All right. You put maximum effort into something here, and well, you achieved it. You attained it. You got the job. You got really good at this hobby or this skill or whatever it is. You put in a lot of work into this relationship, and you can do that again. But now, are you putting in all of this effort to hold on to something that you really don't feel connected to anymore? Well, we can take this energy away from this, and we can wrap this up. We can get closure. It can be a nice, sort of a nice wrapping up of this previous phase of life. It doesn't have to be difficult or painful. It doesn't have to be a fight or anything. It's just kind of just a natural conclusion. And we can put this effort into something new. We can put this effort into something that may very well bring us that joy, that happiness, that connection, that feeling of purpose. Yeah. A feeling of love, of belonging. Maybe this is a family thing. Maybe this is your group of friends. And it just feels like, why am I still there? I don't feel it anymore. And Spirit's trying to show you that change, do something different, go a different way. It's okay to say, this was an old cycle, this was an old phase. I'm stepping into a new era of my life. Okay. And I think with the Ten of Wands, there's sometimes this feeling of, I don't want to step away from this because then I'm going to be kind of on my own. So sometimes we stick with something even if it just feels, there's a dryness here, right? There's really not a feeling, there's not a depth, there's not a connection here. But sometimes we cling to this because the alternative is that I'm just going to be out on my own. I'm going to be here doing my own thing. I'd rather have something rather than nothing, right? But if we cling to this something that we really ultimately deep down don't feel a connection toward, we're robbing ourselves of the opportunity to find that depth of meaning in something else. Okay? So we have to reclaim our energy here. And we have to apply this to something new. Now, in the position of your environment, you've got a Two of Swords. Okay. To me, it kind of resembles a pair of scissors. So I'm feeling that we're sort of cutting the cord, that we're cutting ties with something, and it doesn't have to be a fight. It can be very peaceful, very amicable. It's saying, you know what, this was fun, but my heart's not in it anymore. Maybe you're leaving the band, right? Maybe I don't know if you've heard that. Tim Alexander has left Primus, and it was just kind of like no hard feelings, but I just don't want to do it anymore. My heart's not in it anymore, So it can be a peaceful sort of separation. But I think that it's doing this it may be difficult for you to make this move, but I think once you do, you're going to sleep better at night. Okay? And I think that to be able to make these kinds of decisions in life, it's a positive thing. It's a good skill to have. To be able to be honest with ourselves and say, okay, you know what? I'm just not in it anymore. I need to walk away. And that's okay, right? And things can be peaceful. If we stay and linger and we force it so long, then we're going to end up maybe not even just being neutral about it. We're going to end up hating it. There's going to be resentment. There's going to be animosity. Then it'll be a fight. Okay? We walk away from something now while there's still that kind of a friendly energy, right? It's not meant for me. I don't feel that strong love, connection, purpose there, but, there's still, I think, kind of an underlying respect, But if we force it, if we cling to it, if we linger so long and we hold it so tight, then I think we're going to end up, in some ways, kind of corrupting our memory of it. Does that make sense? And now the next card is the Three of Wands. I think your gut, right? Your spirit, your gut, your intuition, whatever you want to call it. I think you know what the right thing to do is. The right thing to do is not always the easiest thing, right? And the Three of Wands is your virtue. It is you, knowing the truth within you, and now just summoning the strength in order to do the right thing. And I think the right thing for you, as well as for the other party or the other group or whatever it is for you to sort of wrap it up, right? But that's the difficult thing, right? This is the right thing. This is your virtue, but it's in the position of the difficulty. You know what the right thing to do is, but it's difficult to do it. Because for those two reasons, we worked so hard to get this, and there was a time where we really loved it, and it was really the best thing we had in life. And so now to sort of admit that, yeah, I don't feel connected to it anymore. I know what I need to do, but it's hard to do that. And very often this is where people stop. Very often this is that's the roadblock that we get to. I know what the right thing to do is, but I just can't bring myself to do it. I can't bring myself to make that decision. Okay. But here we have the Strength card. We have the Sun and the Moon connected with the Nine of Wands. This is willpower. This is strength. This is a connection to an underlying purpose in life. This is, I think, also, because of this lunar connection, I think it's really this underlying respect that if we end things now, there's still going to be this very, there's going to be a friendship there, let's say. There's still going to be a bond. There's still going to be respect and mutual appreciation. But if we linger too long, if we let it go on and on and on, that's going to deteriorate, and we're going to end up really kind of ruining what we had. When we had something good, it's best to sort of wrap it up, let go of it, walk away while it's still good. While everything is still kind of in this nice configuration. But if we stay there and we force it, it's going to just get worse. It's going to break down. It's going to crumble, and it's going to end anyway. But then we're going to have a much different experience of it and a much more challenging memory of this situation. You see what I mean? So doing the right thing, it's going to be challenging, and it requires a lot of strength. but it really is for the best. Okay? And now the tarot is not going to tell you what to do. And I sure as heck am not going to tell you what to do. But I feel like all these cards are sort of pointing into this direction of, there is a particular truth, there is a particular objective view of what this is, and there is not the same feeling here that there used to be. And there is this question, I think, of what to do about this. But the decision is ultimately yours. Now, I want to look at this mystery card and see what this is. There's a chance that this will be something decisive. There's a chance it'll be the water energy that we were looking for, but I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know. Maybe the star. Maybe your superpower card, your guiding light. Yeah. Spirit will show you the right path. Maybe the Empress. Let's see what we have. Two of Swords. Same card as this one. And the Two of Swords, both, if you look at both of these cards, from different artists, different packs, they both have that lunar crescent in the top area there, right? And of course, the High Priestess is the card of the full moon. This is intuition activated. And both of these cards are saying that, look, you're not going to come to a rational decision here. You're not going to be able to weigh the options and really have this debate with yourself and figure out what to do. No, follow your intuition. Even if the mind is kind of saying, whoa, wait a minute, let's talk about it. Follow whatever this lunar energy is. Follow where the High Priestess is leading you. You will not be able to come up with a decision just by thinking it over, thinking it through. You're going to keep yourself up at night. So we keep asking the question, and your gut, your instinct, spirit, whatever you want to call it, is telling you the answer. But the mind keeps saying, well, what if I ask it a different way? Maybe I'll get a different answer. So I feel like all signs are pointing toward, you got to wrap this up. And you've got to continue moving forward. No matter how many different ways you ask the question, your gut is telling you the same thing continually. The answer hasn't changed, right? But we keep asking the question. Okay. We're going to do an extended reading. We'll do a hexagram from the Jing. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Aquarius, Thursday and Sunday. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.